toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to Huntington Bank Stadium, home to the Minnesota Golden Gophers. As we'll see the number 20 team in the country, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So Nebraska's offense will get the football first. Blowouts in rivalry games. Sometimes it just gets away. Sometimes they didn't have the right mindset. The last time they got together, lopsided. What happens this time, David?
But either way, last time affects this time because all you've heard about is we weren't even competitive. This is a rivalry game, a big-time game. We didn't show up. We dishonored our previous teams and squads, and we've got to do better. That's all they've heard coming into this game.
Yeah, David, I think that was the story the last time these teams played. One team handled the emotion of the game better than the other team. You've got to be able to play within yourself and play one snap at a time. That last game got away from the losing team. I don't expect that to happen today.
Here's a quick throw out to the left. He makes the tackle at the 33 after a pickup of 5.
Brought down at the 33-yard line. That's a first down for the offense.
With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Looking for a man. It's Dyer. Zings it complete to the right. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. They've generated some momentum with excellent performances in Big Ten play, and you can see them growing game by game.
And that's a big deal, too, in the new-look Big Ten Conference. Back in the day when there were divisions, you know, it was a toss-up every year who was going to win the Big Ten West. That was the easier division. But now it's just who are the best 2 teams out of all of these teams, all these quality teams. So it's impressive that this team, David, has put themselves in position to play for the championship.
You ain't lying, especially in this conference. Let's be honest, the Big Ten and the SEC, they've separated themselves from everybody else. And so you're competing in this conference, middle of the season. You can finish strong. Now we're not just talking about conference championships. We're talking about where can we be in the playoff and how much damage we can do in the postseason.
The Cornhuskers really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. They'll try to bully their way for the first. Coming through that 3rd down conversion, and they'll mark it at the 43.
And I think on that last run play on 3rd down here early in the game, they're making a statement that we believe we're the more physical team, and we're going to run the football even if you know it's coming at you. Nice job. They've got the ball at midfield. I expect to see more run plays coming up.
And the Huskers are rolling down the field. Looking to throw on 1st down. Starting to feel a little pressure. And the defense making a play, getting a hand on that pass. Now, I know you two never faced off against each other in an actual rivalry game other than the Thanksgiving morning Turkey Bowl. But knowing you two the way I do and the way you know each other, Jesse, what would you have done to try to throw Pollack off a little bit on a stage like this?
In our opening 10-play script, I would have had David Pollack cut blocked, maybe even double-team high-load, chop blocked on every single play early.
Which is illegal, you bum. That's fine. But that's fine. You know what? I guess in retaliation to that, we would have just roughed the passer over and over, taking the 15-yard penalty. That's what's fun about this, Reese. It's petty. It's sometimes it crosses the line of dirty, but that's why rivalries are so fun.
And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Making side adjustments here. To the air, it's Dyer. They're working that left side. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
Bells and whistles have got to be going off in this quarterback's head now. It's 3rd and long, so you know you're expecting pressure. You got to know where your hot routes are. You got to be able to read the coverage and make sure you get this football out of your hands quickly to not take a sack or worse, turn the football over.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick. He stopped, not much on the return, but a whole lot in getting the football.
What a start by this defense. That is exactly what you need, man. They've been a little bit hit or miss. They've been a little bit up and down. But to start the game on a high note, get the good mojo going, great start for this defense.
Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. Direct snap. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Pulls it on the bootleg fake. Nowhere to go, and the ball's loose. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover. There is little that warms the heart of a defender like a strip sack, even better if you get the ball.
And I like the awareness of this defender on the play because he knew he might not actually get to the quarterback and make the hit, but he was able to still swat away, use those long arms to create the turnover.
Linebackers trying to create some confusion. Quick handoff. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
To the air. It's Dyer. Quarterback now on the run. Still looking. Got a man. It's Clark. And good coverage by the defense. Just a short gain.
Offenses don't like being in these situations. They don't like having little success on 1st and 2nd down because now you know I got to pass the football. I got to air it out. Makes me really predictable. So let's make sure you take care of the football and find those plays you really like.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Working that left side down. Breaks into the open. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13. The Huskers come to the line with a new set of downs. On the option. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Cornhuskers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Somehow got the screen into that traffic. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. It has been all defense all the time in the early going as we wrap up the first quarter, and the stats certainly reflect that. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. throw, and he needs a bunch. He'll pull it down and run. Headed to the end zone. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Huskers.
Can't start a game any better than that. Defense gets the stop, gives it back to the offense. You march down the field, you score. They're in a great rhythm now on both sides of the ball.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Week to week, it's so tough to figure the ACC, which is why this one is notable. SMU is ahead in this one. This team plays a fun brand of football there in Dallas, but they're a long way from closing this out. They're up by a field goal over Florida State. Any major changes in this ACC standoff, you'll hear about them first from us, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Oh, he's got a chance. Turning it on. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense. What perfect execution on that big run. Everything perfectly blocked, and this guy doesn't need a lot of room.
I love how this offensive line communicates and works up front. You see guys winning their one-on-one battles. There's double teams happening. Guys are getting into the second level and creating big lanes for this running back.
Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39. Tough linebackers getting after quarterbacks. The Huskers have a rich tradition of that.
Yeah, and you think about the black shirts, and you hear that if you're a Nebraska fan, you know exactly what that means. Guys that are different, guys that see it, that hunt it, that go get the football like this guy just did.
Wilson to pass. Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the in route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Hauls it in. Nice job to pick up the first down, and they'll spot it at the 42.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
And the Golden Gophers have this offense rolling. Wants to go up top on first down. He's got it. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense, catching the football.
High the chains now on second and long. Quick pass on the jet motion. Across the 25. But not before. He picks up the first down. The Golden Gophers pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. From the shotgun, the inside give. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score.
I think one of the keys to this defense's success all season has been how good they've been stopping the run. They're a top 10 unit when it comes to rushing defense, and it's helped them out this year down in the red zone.
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
Yeah, how about this defense, man? That's the third sack of the day. They've been putting pressure, getting him on the ground. Not something they've been good at throughout this season. This defense playing better because they're getting more pressure on the quarterback.
On third and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Touchdown, Minnesota! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
Really nice. Working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And he puts through the extra point. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? From inside his own 15, let's see how far he can get. Probably needed to pick up an extra block or 2, but as it is, he'll be stopped at the 28. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They had to stand by and watch that scoring march, and now it's up to them to find a way to answer it. He's got his man, makes the grab. They'll spot the ball at the 34 as he goes out of bounds right there. And the Huskers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. He might want another play. Looking downfield, it's Dyer. Here's a heat. Caught close to the marker, it's Glenn. They get him out of bounds, couple of yards short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 48, and this offense is rolling. They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. Wants to throw on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. Finds a man in the middle. They get him on the ground at the 37, but give him 15 yards on that chunk play, and they'll move the chains. To the air on 1st down. It's complete to the left. Brought down at the 26-yard line after a pickup of 10 yards on the play, and it'll be a 1st down.
Well, it wasn't a great start for this quarterback, but on this drive, he seems to be turning the corner. He just looks like he's playing in a different rhythm. He's seeing the field better. It's almost as if the game is starting to slow down for him. I think on that last completion, it was a good example of it.
Powers forward, but stopped after a pickup of 2 to the 24.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
He's got it again. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a 1st down. The clock winds down to 2 minutes, and we will take a pause for the 2-minute timeout. The Huskers have it with a 1st and 10. Looking downfield, it's Dyer. They get enough rush, and it... Off the sack at the 20.
What a nice answer by this defense. You give up the big play, you respond right back. You get the sack, create some momentum for your side. Nice job by this defense staying with it.
Quarterback making adjustments. Wants to go up top. Got his man on the right. Got enough space. Touchdown, Nebraska. Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
Man, I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
This will not be returnable as it sails out of the back of the end zone. The Minnesota offense is headed back onto the field. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. Looking to throw on 1st down. Snagged in the middle, it's Walker. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half.
And the offense here dialed up a really good zone beater. Give credit to the offensive coordinator. He called the right play at the right time.
From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. And he dropped it, just didn't hook the thing all the way in.
And I thought it was a good job by the quarterback, really seeing the drag route start to come across the field, and he puts the ball pretty much on the money. And you got to make that play. You got to make those catches to get this offense in a rhythm, to stay ahead of schedule. Those are ones he doesn't drop very often.
Wilson will throw. Makes the catch. It's McDuffie.
This slot receiver is a guy the defense has to be careful of. He runs good routes. He's got some speed, and if you're not careful, this guy can gash you.
Ball is at the 41 as this defense tries to force the punt on 3rd and long. Wants to keep it in the air. Quickly to the tight end. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. And the Golden Gophers decide to punt it away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Cover guys do their job, and they get him stopped at the 22-yard line. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David, it's sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but also momentum is hard to create and sometimes hard to stop. You have it, so Jesse, don't do anything stupid to create some momentum for the other side.
I think a lot of this comes down to your quarterback and whether or not he's making good decisions in this game. If yes, be aggressive. If not, let's just take the lead into halftime and get ready for the second.
Sometimes you have to put it in a tight window, and sometimes the window is gargantuan, and it was there.
Yeah, that was one of them big old huge windows. And I tell you what, when you throw over the middle of the field, a lot of times the quarterbacks are a little bit hesitant. When you're that open, it's easy to pull the trigger, easy to make the decision, make the read, get the ball to your receiver.
The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half. They've come out with answers on this possession, and now another first down. Looking to throw, it's Dyer. Release to the back. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Well, you wonder that time if the QB was just forcing that one over to his running back. He's already made some catches in this game. The defense is aware of that, though, and that time they had outstanding coverage. There was no way that was going to be complete.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Clark. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Rush is on him. Trying to escape and get it himself. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. And they're running the field goal unit out there, and the only chance this one has is if they give it overnight delivery. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. So now things a bit harder after that delay of game penalty, and now you got to worry about getting it out of the shadow of your own goalpost. Sends his first one of the day on its way, and that matches the number of appearances he had in that win last week. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Man, great energy in that building. There always is when these two get together. And a fun first half between these rivals. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman and being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the second half.
You know, and I think even if you're this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first 30 minutes, you cannot.
And he gets it up to the 36. It'll be a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wilson to pass. A strike downfield. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Man, you see those tight ends catch the football. You're coming up and try to get on the ground as fast as they can. They're such big athletes, though. You gotta pick your poison. A lot of times you try to go low, and they hurdle you or put that hand down. Nice job by the tight end breaking a tackle and getting some extra yards.
Runs through the tackle. Came through like a shot and knocked him down for a loss of 5.
Yeah, and it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. Be interested to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
Quarterback could not have walked that ball and placed it into the hands of his receiver any better. That was a perfect throw. Wide out, deep downfield. You got to finish the play.
Now facing a 3rd and long from the 50-yard line. He's looking downfield to throw. Working that wide receiver screen. Stopped right at the 42-yard line as this defense forces a 4th down. The Golden Gophers will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And that is how a punter helps out his defense, pinning them deep in their own territory. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. Another opportunity here. They had to punt it on their last possession, but this time tight game, hoping to get something on the board. Across the 10, got it out to the 14. That's a gain of 5.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the 2nd half.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, running back on the move. Pushes ahead for 2. They'll mark it at the 17.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
The Cornhuskers come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Complete on 3rd down. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down.
Just beautiful, and that's a great feeling as a quarterback when you make that throw. It keeps your offense on the field, keeps the offense in rhythm. Obviously not as good as throwing a touchdown pass, but I'll tell you this, way better than having to trot off over to the bench and wait for your turn to get another shot.
To the air, it's Dyer. Makes the grab. At the 35, he's loose. He goes out of bounds, maybe a step shy of the 40. They're going to mark it at the 39, and a really nice pickup there.
QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, 1st down.
Quarterback on the keeper. After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1.
I suspect we can see that same exact play. They make it look really easy, running the option down the line of scrimmage, QB making good decisions and keeping them in good 2nd down situations.
And the Huskers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Back to pass. Pressure coming. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
And listen, the quarterback drops back and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
on 3rd and long. He's going to have to throw for it. That's caught. It's Parker. Shoved out of bounds after a big gain. They'll mark it at the plus 42. The Huskers will snap it on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. That's caught. It's Glenn. And they knock him down. There was nowhere to go. Defense is swarming.
Well, you can tell those two have been practicing the out route all off season long. They look like they could have completed that in their sleep.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Scanning the field. It's Dyer. That's reeled in. It's Parker. At the 20, he's got space. He was working his way toward that goal line. They'll stop him at the 2 after the big play up top.
And one of the things I love about this running back is his versatility. He's not just good running the football, but he can catch it as well, and he can make things happen with the ball in his hands. Nice job by the quarterback, getting through the progression, getting it out to his guy, and he does the rest, and that generates a huge play.
The Cornhuskers have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Makes the grab on the left. Touchdown, Cornhuskers! A great catch and run for 6.
And they cap off the drive with a touchdown, throwing the football. On the last play, they got the explosive. They get right back to the line of scrimmage and dial up another one. Great work by the quarterback and his target being on the same page. These last 2 plays, throwing the football, man, it doesn't get any better than that.
Not going to give him a chance to make a play as they boot that thing through the end zone. The Minnesota offense is headed back onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up.
Ball is loose. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way. He'll be brought down, but he was trying with everything he had to turn that disaster into a 1st down and came up a little short.
I'll tell you, honestly, I don't know what that player could have done to hold on to that football. That defender absolutely popped him. He knocked him into next week. There was no chance he was holding on to that ball.
Grabbed behind the line. It's Parker. Finds a crease at the 20. And good blocking in space out there to give him enough room to pick up the 1st down.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
On the option. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the 4th quarter. We reach the break. It's Nebraska holding the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more quarter to go, and it looks as if we are ready to play. They had a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. Might be changing the route. Dropping back, it's Dyer. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And they'll get him down inside the 5, but this offense powering toward a score. And if they can find the end zone here, that might be all she wrote. 1st and goal. try to pound their way in. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Yeah, you want to be physical. You want to assert yourselves. And listen, I know this is a top-5 defense against the run in college football, but you got to believe you can do it and continue to stay balanced and run the football and be physical down here in the red zone.
Sneaks it in. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
From inside the 10, here he comes. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. The offense starts this drive in the shadow of its own end zone. Wilson will throw. Under fire.
When I got a stud quarterback like they do, I'm going to protect him. I'm going to make sure that I keep him upright because he can do some serious damage. But this defense applying pressure and applying the hammer in this football game.
And the Golden Gophers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. They're looking for an advantage in the running game to the right. And I think they'll mark him right at the line of scrimmage. Didn't help much with the breathing room, but on the upside, they avoided the safety. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Keeping it on the ground with the running back. What a play by this defense, and they stop him short. It'll be 4th down. The Golden Gophers send out the punt unit.
Number 17, on to kick it away.
He gets it away from his own end zone. And the returner will be knocked down. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out everybody right now in the same range.
Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the 1st down. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Quarterback making checks. Wants to fire on 2nd down. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass D.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make the play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver, he's going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Plucks it out of the air. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the 1st down.
He's been a matchup problem all season long. Defenses just don't know how to solve the puzzle. And with that last catch, over 500 yards receiving now on the year for him.
On 4th down, they're taking to the air. Converts on 4th down, and he's still going. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the 1st down. And the Huskers come to the line with a fresh set of downs.
Really nice job by the offense. Hey, man, trust your guys, right? We got all these analytics on 4th down, say to go for it. They trust their quarterback. He gets it done with the completion and gets the big 1st down.
Makes the catch. It's Parker. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. To throw, it's Dyer. Gets it out fast. And they bring him down quickly, but a good gain there. The Huskers are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, they'll try to convert through the air. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
Might be calling a hot route. On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. He's got it. 1st down and more. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on 4th down. He's been so locked in, it seems like any pass called is a guaranteed chunk play.
Yeah, and winning late like this in the ball game, keep trusting him, keep spinning. You know why? Because stats matter late in the game. You want some postseason awards? Keep chucking it, keep getting those stats.
Now inside the 20, 1st and 10 from the 18. He wants to throw it again. And he'll chuck that one away and save the down. Nobody was able to get open.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to beat Greg right here to end the game.
In the backfield, he's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
It's 4th down, and they'll try the field goal. The holder will kneel down at the 29, making it a 39-yard attempt. Right down the boulevard. It's good. And that lead grows even bigger. They just put a field goal on the board, and now they'll line up for the onside kick. Few anxious moments there, but the hands team true to its name as they make the grab and get the ball. Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. At this point, it really hasn't been your best day. Just try to find something to build on here at the end, David.
Yeah, just try to keep fighting. Show your kids you're going to keep fighting. Keep throwing the football. Try to get some points up. Palmer, points have been at a premium. They haven't scored very much, but keep fighting, man.
Yeah, and just, try to find things to build off of for next week as well, right? I mean, it's all about continuing to improve week in.
Snags it inside the 20. Run out of bounds just before he could get it into the end zone, and now they're set up 1st and goal. The offense threatening, close to the end zone now with a new set of downs. They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. He never had a chance on the draw, tackled almost as soon as he got the ball. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. They'll come to the line just trying to keep their hope alive on 3rd and goal. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13. The defense calls the timeout, their 2nd of the day, as they try to get their act together. A field goal really doesn't do much for you in this situation, so they'll go for it on 4th and goal. Wilson to pass. Lets it fly. Couldn't find his man, and they'll give up the football on downs.
And I get it. That's for pride's sake. This game's over. I know you're down and you try to mount drives, and sometimes you even try to get young guys in the game at this point, but now you're just fighting for pride and just letting them try not to get any more points on the scoreboard.
Offense changing the play. Going right to work up top. Unloads to the wideout. Can't hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Second down, he'll throw it. Looking down the middle. Wide open downfield. And he picks up a huge chunk of yards on that play before he's finally hauled down. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. They were backed up, and then suddenly they weren't. They've got it 1st and 10 now inside the 50. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Right down the middle. Finds his man. It's Parker. They get it down to the 35 before he stopped. 10-yard pickup on the play, and it's a 1st down. Wants to throw on 1st down. Got his man. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
You know, the defense doesn't have an answer for this slot guy right now. They may want to think about bracketing him, having a defender play to the outside and to the inside. Probably some sort of zone coverage where you're trying to get 2 bodies, forcing the quarterback to have to go somewhere else.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
Wants to throw. It's Dyer. He's moving out of the pocket. Throwing on the run. And he's got it in the end zone for a touchdown. This is an absolute blowout.
And they just keep piling on the points. We've seen in big moments in this game, they have been able to step up and deliver, particularly on offense. Very impressive performance.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And they did tack on that extra point without any adventure. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. After scoring that touchdown, they'll try to get it right back with an onside kick. Cool as a cucumber as the hands team makes a sure catch.
Well, here in the 4th quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
To the air on 1st down. Caught over the middle. It's Walker. What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line. There's a long and storied history of great games between these two rivals, and this chapter adds another to that legacy.
Really impressed by the poise by the winning team as well here. They weren't overhyped in this game. They came out, they looked prepared, they were calm, definitely confident. David, they were able to go out and execute well enough to get this win.
And it's hard in these rivalry games with all the emotions running so deep. Like, you sometimes get overzealous. Sometimes you get too many penalties. It's hard to rein in your emotions, but they did. They kept it in check, and now bragging rights for a whole year.